Hi guys, I'm here today to do a little tutorial on juggling because I've had a couple people ask. I know that there are some coaches that are big firm believers in juggling and some that are not as firm believers or don't make their players juggle much at all. I have always been a big believer in it because I believe that it worked for me as a player on my touch on the ball. I know there are people out there that will say, when do you ever juggle in a game? But it's not necessarily about that. It's about your touch on the ball and being able to control the ball out of the air, but also on the ground, and just your overall touch and feel for the ball. So it's another way for coaches to kind of see if you've been out touching the soccer ball, because you do not get better at juggling without actually practicing. And it does take time. If you ask anybody that is as good at juggling, it does take them a while to get to the place where they are. And along with that comes frustrations. Try not to get too frustrated. Today I'm just going to give you a couple pointers to hopefully help you out and get better as quick as you can. But it just takes a lot of time and effort. Okay, so whenever I'm teaching juggling, I like to say that you can start with the ball in your hands. Okay, I know there are a lot of coaches also that always tell their players, even at a young age, to pull the ball up off the ground. I do not think that that is the best way to learn how to juggle, because what happens is you end up starting to, the whole time you're trying to get it up off the ground and you're not actually getting any good touches on the ball. So I like to say, when you're practicing juggling, especially on your own, or if you're not very good at it yet, to start with the ball in your hands, okay? A lot of times players like to have their toe pointed back at them, so the ball's coming back into their body every time. So every time I play it, it's got a lot of spin on it and it's coming back towards me, all right? And that actually makes it more difficult to juggle. So you want to try to relax your toe a little bit so that it's not up like this, but it's pointed more this way. And although it is pointed out this way, it is still locked, okay? My ankle is locked so that it's not floppy when the ball hits it, okay? And really, the ball should be popping up off of your foot right here, right on this part of there's like this little bone right here on your foot. That's a kind of a good gauge. Right where the tongue on your shoes would be, although shoes these days don't have tongues anymore. Anyway, so your goal is just to kind of pop the ball straight up and to keep it at about knee to hips height. Okay? The other problem people have is they try to juggle way too high, and what happens is the ball is actually harder to control when it comes back down the higher you play it. Okay? So you want to try to keep that medium range, especially for those that are just learning. But if you can learn to kind of just pop the ball up without a lot of spin on it, okay, you're going to be better off. Okay, I know that there are people that do put spin, and I'm putting spin on it now, but you notice that it's not coming like into my body. Okay, that's when you have trouble. So you don't want it to be coming back into your body, okay? When you do this, it's bouncing up, then you're trying to get it back down in front of you, and it's just too difficult. So again, ankle locked, toe pointed, not straight down, because then it's going to go away from you, but you're underneath the ball and your toes pointed, okay? And we're just trying to pop it up. Soft touch, okay? I always tell my players that they should alternate feet as much as they can in the beginning, because what you'll have is players that only work on their dominant foot, and then they can't juggle with the other side of their body. Therefore, every time it goes to that weaker foot, they lose control. So alternating your feet, and a good way to start if you're really, really struggling, is just to say, okay, 1 and catch. 1, 2, catch. 1, 1, 2. And just do that, 1, 2, 3. Alternating and getting that touchdown. 4. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did 2 in a row, and that's okay if that happens occasionally. And I do encourage my players to use their feet only, but if it comes up to your thigh every now and then, to take a thigh touch and back down to your foot, no big deal. Just you don't want to see anybody just doing their thighs, because majority of the time in the game of soccer you're using your feet. And occasionally you do use other parts of your body like your thigh and chest, which you could use while juggling, and even your head. So that's kind of just my juggling 101. If you still have questions and you need more help, please reach out and I can try to help you out. But I think, again, just starting, popping it straight up and catching, if it's close enough to catch, then you know that it's close enough for you to continue to go, then keep the ball going. And I promise you will get there. It takes a little time and some effort, a lot of effort sometimes, but you will get there. So good luck, keep working at it, and I promise you'll see differences in your touch on the ball.